Before we get into financial freedom as a whole, you have to ask yourself a real honest question. Why is it that you want financial freedom? For me, I can only speak about myself. I wanted financial freedom because I didn't want to be a burden on my immediate family. What do I mean by that? I'm not trying to get anyone in their feelings. I'm not trying to get anyone upset. I'm simply talking about me. Why did I need financial freedom? I had one mother. My father was out of my life by the time I was 11 years of age. I had an older brother, a younger brother, and a younger sister. Why did I have to graduate college on time? Why did I have to work while in college to not be in any debt and not burden my family? Is because I didn't want to have to ask my mother for money knowing that she had to take care of a whole bunch of other children. And I didn't want for my little brother and my little sister and my older brother to graduate college while I was still not a graduate myself. I wanted to lead by example and show them that I was capable of leading, show them the way, and make sure that they know that they can do it too, right? So if I didn't graduate college, who's to say that my little brother would be on his way to graduating now? Who's to say that my sister would have graduated college as she did last year? Who's to say that my older brother would have graduated college as he did last year, right? All these things are the things that I had to think about growing up, and why I made sure to graduate on time, to push myself, to be the first sibling in my family to graduate, is because I needed to ensure that they saw a path to doing the same thing and that they knew it was possible for themselves, right? So I grew up in a household, first generation Americans is what I am and is what my siblings are. We grew up in a household. If you're Indian, if you're Hispanic, if you're African, uh, that it is all about saving money. They know absolutely nothing about investing, right? And so they'll save, save, save. They'll send money back home and they'll buy a big home and they'll build it from the ground up. And that's their retirement, right? The whole American dream that these immigrants have is to come to America for a better life. So why is it that you pack up all your money, ship it back home for this one big house just to retire back home? Now, when it comes to seeing your grandkids, now when it comes to medical treatment, you still have to fly back to the States. You still have to fly back to America. And then you tell all of your siblings to buy back home and build a home back home. What is the point of that? Eventually, somebody will get stuck back in Africa, back in Haiti, back in the Philippines, back in Puerto Rico, and then they'll be wondering, how can I get to America to fulfill the American dream? Because I want a better life for myself. If you left there for a better life, why would you then build back there? Now, I'm not saying don't ever go back home, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't build up the communities in which you come from. But what I am saying is it makes absolutely no sense to go somewhere else for a better life just to say that your best life is retiring back home. So for me, instead of throwing $400,000 into a house back in Africa, where that's my entire net worth because all you did was save for it and build it incrementally instead of investing, I would just rather put $10,000 down on a $200,000 house and do that 5 times. And 30 years from now, they're all worth $600,000 each. And I have way more than $4 million. You understand? It's so easy to make money in America. You just have to understand. You just have to be financially literate. All right? So for me, I realized that I literally made as much money as my parent did in her entire working life in just 3 good years. Why is that? Because I was able to use the bank's money. I was able to invest. I was not afraid like they were because they didn't understand what the stock market was. They didn't understand what taking out a mortgage was, right? And so if you don't understand these things, then your children are your investors. Your children are the ones investing on your behalf because you just don't have the financial knowledge and the financial aptitude. Now, any smart person would tell you, If you don't know how to do something yourself, get someone smart in your corner who is willing and able to do that for you. But if you watch my video on why you do not need a financial advisor, it's because all the information is out there for you. All the information is out there for you to grasp. All you have to do is go on YouTube, Google, and search for it, and you will find it. It took me 6 to 7 good years of watching YouTube clips on financial independence, financial freedom, stock market, all that stuff in order to really understand the stock market and get good at it. And now I have an entire chapter on my YouTube channel for a complete guide to stock market advice. And that thing is blowing up right now, right? So then when I finally move and leave New York after graduating college, where we can argue whether a degree is even a viable option these days, it did allow me to get my first career job working at Amazon as a area manager, which spurred my growth and potential to where I was able to be a general manager for multiple restaurants, which allowed me to invest more and invest heavier. The more money I made, instead of spending it, I continued to reinvest it. And because of that, I was able to buy a property, real estate property. After that, I was able to buy another. And then from there, I had already amassed a net worth that my parents hadn't amassed in their entire working life, well over 25-year span of life. Why? It's because I understood what investing can do to my financial future. I understood what working hard initially would do for my financial success. Now let's really talk about it, because I'm not really on YouTube to make myself feel good. I have enough people doing that already. I have enough cheers every single day. Oh, you're doing so well. You're doing this. You're doing that. But it always wasn't like that. It always wasn't like that. I was a bad kid growing up. I was always in trouble. So there was love, but it wasn't encouragement, right? There was love, but there wasn't encouragement. How many of you grew up in those same type of situations where there was love, but there wasn't encouragement? Or maybe you had encouragement, but no real love. You know, we all have different circumstances, and we all have a reason to feel as though we can't truly achieve anything. But the one thing that I was blessed with is seeing people who could save money. I wasn't offered a lot growing up, right? I wasn't offered all of these new things. And if you've been watching me, you already know all the terrible stuff that happened growing up in my life. But at the end of the day, I was still able to be a healthy, young, productive human being in society today who understood that debt wasn't the best thing in the world, but it can also be a tool to be used for financial freedom if used correctly. And I understood how to save money because that's all I saw. So what did I have to learn? I had to learn how to not be in debt, and I had to learn how to invest. I didn't have to learn how to save because that was already instilled in me by my parents from an early age. And so I think that is one of the biggest things to cross. You see, I had to start from +1, I would say, where most people start at -1. Why is that? People are so eager to get a credit card, run it up. They always have a balance on it. I don't care if you have a $100,000 credit limit. You should not be carrying over $2,000 balances every single month, right? So if you're starting from -1 because you're in debt with bad debt, we need to get you to 0. We need to get you to no debt whatsoever, especially if it's bad debt. So when someone asks me, how do you have an 804 credit score? I don't even have a credit card yet. I say, well, at least you're starting from 0, because there's 60% of Americans who are at -1. You understand? And it's okay if you're at -1 today. You're watching this video so that you cannot be at -1, and you can work your way to 1, 2, 3, and 4, or wherever your financial goals and freedom number is, right? But why did I want financial freedom overall is because once you have financial freedom, once you have financial independence, you don't have to worry about the pains of the world, right? What if I decided to get married tomorrow or have children? I don't want to have to worry about how my bills are going to get paid. What job offer am I going to get this week? I don't want to feel like I'm beholden to a job. If I leave my job tomorrow, that's okay. That's okay. There's no pressure. There's no stress. You will not treat me like you treat everybody else. You will not abuse your power. You will not make me feel as though I am lesser of a person. You will not talk down to me and have me accept it in any way, shape, or form, because I have now met my financial freedom goals. I have now met my financial freedom numbers. I do not take shit from nobody. I don't care who you are, because I don't have to, and I will never have to. You know, I read an article that said that losing a job is the same as literally having a heart attack. It can lead people into depression. I wonder why that is. It's because there's so much stress. So many people living paycheck to paycheck. So many people not really able to take control of their lives. I can't imagine moving back in with family. I can't imagine having to ask my parents, my people for money. I understand that life is tough. I understand that life is hard. But that's why we have to get to 1. That's why we have to get to 2. That's why we have to get to 3. So we have to get out of debt. That's -1. Then when we're out of debt, that's 0. Then we have to save money. That's 1. Then we have to invest. That's 2. And then we have to get there to financial freedom. And that's what this channel is all about. What do you want to do with your financial freedom? I can't answer that for you. I cannot answer that for you. But I'm very passionate, as you can see. This same passion is how I was passionate about my work. This same passion was how I was passionate about getting my first rental property. This same passion was how I was passionate about running it up in the stock market so I can get that dividend growth, that compound interest. The ninth wonder of the world, compound interest. So again, I'm asking you today, what is your financial freedom all about? What is it about? Understand that this road is not an easy road. It's very tedious. It's very, very time consuming. But when you take the time to understand, when you take the time to really dive deep into what you want for yourself, you'll understand that money is not the root of all evil. You'll understand that common sense is not common, but it can be common for me. And you'll also understand that ignorance is bliss, but I'll choose to live in this rough world with my eyes both open so that I can get the best out of it and not just be ignorant to everything that's around me. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Watch some of my previous videos on the complete guide to the stock market investing and how I became financially free at 25. Or if you want to see how I made my first $250,000, $250,000, then go ahead and watch that as well. I think those 3 videos are real good videos to dive into, and they'll show you a lot about not only my character, but also how you can get there as well. So, you know, I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.